Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 Championship season of this 10-round playoff series with the NASCAR Legends mod here on the channel. Today we have the middle race of the round of 12 where we come in 23 points above the cut line at Talladega Super Speedway. Look at this, we have the Jeff Gordon Pepsi throwback card that he used at the Talladega Spring Race in 2009. I remember watching that race and I remember him crashing as well in that race, so that was unfortunate. You're going to notice something in this episode though. You're going to notice no replay cameras until the final stage, and the reason for that is the switch up between replay cameras and the live footage is very abrupt, and the main reason for that is because, well, we're racing under the lights here in Talladega, especially in that final stage, so stay tuned on that. Jeremy Mayfield, you see him failing pre-race inspection, and Dale Jr. failed technical inspection, so those two drivers sent to the bank of the field here for the Alabama 500 night race. And this is a mod for the night race from High C once again now, as we are ready to get racing here from Talladega, starting from the back of the grid. P38, we are underway now as we come in, like we said, you know, over 20 points above the cut line, so there's not huge concerns in this race here in Talladega. It's a 14-lap stage to kick off the day now, as you see that Hot Wheels machine number 44 already going 3 wide in the middle as McMurray caught him off guard, and you can see the 2 1 cars side by side of Steve Park and McMurray now, as we're just kind of waiting for things to settle out here now, as I wasn't, you know, feeling very much pressure going into this race now. However, if we don't end up getting stage points in stage 1 and 2 and we have a really rough finish in the overall race, then there will be a little bit of a concern there. But do keep in mind we're going to the Charlotte Roval in the next episode to round out the round of 12, so I'm pretty confident when it comes to the Charlotte Roval. Usually a very good track for myself here. Now, as you can see me dive down to this inside as we approach the end of this first and opening lap. And Boyer there on the outside now through this Trurai oval here. You see the draft partners back turned on, and hopefully we're going to have a little bit of help here from that 1 car, Steve Park. Now 1 lap down, 13 to go in stage 1, and you see 4 wide up there in front of us already. Richard Petty's in the middle of that, and so is Ryan Newman. I believe maybe Matt Kenseth on the far outside, and down the back straightaway they would all run into issues right there. You see the stack up between the 2 cars of the 43 and the 21 of Trevor Bain as well, so a big mishap there briefly. Fortunately we were on the inside, so we were able to gain a few spots, and we were just, you know, quite simply continuing to move our way forward here now as we came through this tri-oval to the outside of that 44 as well, crossing the line again to hit 11 laps to go in the stage, and just continuing to slowly but surely move our way forward. But then I kind of got caught right here, 3 wide in the middle. I was trying to see if we could make it work here. We got the 28 of Ricky Rudd there just in front of us, so sorry, that's Cale Yarborough, not Ricky Rudd now, as you can see Chase Elliott in the mix as well. But getting back down to the inside seems to be the way to go as usual here at these plate circuits. However, you can see right here I actually get kind of caught out on the inside and have no way to get a help from a draft from anybody in front of us, so we kind of fall back a little bit here now in behind McMurray, and you can see that we would actually get caught out a little bit again with the 14 getting to my outside here, and for some reason I couldn't get the pole off that 1 car, so you know, we were moving our way forwards towards the top 20, but then we ended up falling all the way down to about P30 here, so that was very frustrating. But by the time we come through to about the halfway point of the stage, we climb back up into P24. Smoke up ahead, caution's gonna fly. It's the 2 of Brad Keselowski with some issues there, so the caution is out in Talladega, and we're gonna get ready to go back green. But you can see some split pit strategy right there, and I decided to be one of the drivers that comes in to throw 4 tires on the car, fill it up with fuel as well. So we enter P24, but we're gonna get ready for this restart from P32. We're back underway, and this leaves us with only 5 races, or 5 laps remaining in this race here. The 16 of Allmendinger on our inside now, but P32 again, so stage points are looking kind of unlikely when you look at the first 10 laps of the stage, and we haven't really gone anywhere, and now we only have 5 laps to go. So it's never say never, but it's definitely turning into a bit of a difficult task so far here from Talladega. Now Joey Logano, Carl Edwards in the 99 as well just behind us now as we get rolling. Now as we come through 3 and 4, you can see the momentum that we have. We jump up to that outside and get to the back of Ryan Newman. I decide to keep the momentum going here and see if we can clear the 6. 4 wide on the outside, however, not enough momentum there, but we do have a draft partner of Tony Stewart in the Home Depot, Joe Gibbs Racing, number 20 Toyota Camry, giving myself a big shove, and I kind of relied on Tony, and we would kind of link up here between myself, Stewart, as well as the 5, our teammate of Terry Labonte, all on the south side. But you can see that it would go nowhere. We would fade all the way back down to P37 as we approach the final 2 laps of the stage. Now on the inside again of Keselowski, to the back of that Budweiser number 29 of Kevin Harvick here with 2 laps to go in this stage as we were approaching the final lap on this inside still of AJ Allmendinger. P32, white flag in the air in stage 1. Casey Kane just in front of us. Dale Jarrett. Stage points are completely off the table, unfortunately, at this point for us in stage 1. So already focusing, just on positioning ourselves the best possible way for stage 2 here as we continue behind this number 5 Farmers Insurance Chevrolet of Casey Kane. Trevor Bayne as well here in the mix. Chase Elliott around us. A lot of Hendrick presence right here in the mid to low 20s now, down into 3 and 4 for the final time. Can we gain a few more spots? Dale Sr. as well down here, so nice to see some playoff presence down here now, but the caution is going to fly, so that is going to end stage 1 early. It looks like it's the 2 of Rusty Wallace who jumps down to the inside. You saw my car run into the back of the 5 of Casey Kane under caution. That's usually a very bad sign of what is to come on the next restart. We would pit, fill it up with fuel, put tires on. P28 in stage 1. Absolutely horrendous effort now, but I was not feeling very confident for stage 2. Look at this. You see the big sudden change up here in lighting. You see the sun's kind of moved over a little bit now, and it just feels like it's starting to get dark. And now here, sure enough, as I expected, the car would not take off at all for stage 2's restart. So we are going to be way behind again. 12 laps, so not as much time to work with here in stage 2. Bill Elliott in the number 94 out in front. Now, very lucky for myself, I would have some drafting help pretty quickly from my teammate of Terry Labonte, so that would keep us connected with this main pack of cars. That was we're P38 again, so just so far things are just not quite going right for us here in Talladega, but on the bright side, it's a long race. We've got some work to do, but we have the time to do it now, and you can see us now passing that 43 of Richard Petty in the STP Chevrolet, and we are closing back in on the top 30. We would get into there. We would get up to P25 actually now, just behind Tony Stewart, one of our playoff competitors, but you see myself jump up to the middle briefly behind Carl Edwards. They're 4 wide in the background here. I'm going to split through the middle here, 3 wide between that number 20 and 99 down into turn 1, but you can see I would kind of get flatlined here behind Mark Martin, another playoff contender that we had some contact with recently at Bristol, still looking for a first win here in this NASCAR Legends Mod Championship playoff series of these 10 races. We were going to win in Bristol until I choked massively. So you can see myself now diving down to the inside behind Tony Stewart, but for the first time today, we're into the top 20, up into P16 here as we kick off lap 6 and now 15th passing Keselowski. You see Burton and Rusty Wallace there on the outside, following with Kevin Harvick, Sterling Marlin just in front of myself. Caution comes out, and immediately you saw it. The caution came out, my car ran into the back of Sterling Marlin. There's a pretty good chance, again, this car is not going to go on this restart. So let's take a look for the next restart and see what happens. There is always something here in these Talladega plate track races. We're back underway, and well, sure enough, it happened again. So I do not like to stay planted in front of traffic. It just feels ignorant to do, even though it's a bug in the game that's very frustrating. But I really prefer not to be a goblin and just stay in front of everybody. Now, if I'm in the 3rd lane and you decide to go in the 3rd lane behind me, that's when it becomes your problem at that point. I'm not moving out of your way. So fortunately, again, we would stay connected with the main pack, but the damage was done. We're back here with Jimmy Johnson in P36 going to his inside. We were approaching just lap 10 of stage 2 with 3 laps to go. 4 wide again in front of us here. We're seeing quite a bit of 4 wide action here today in Talladega. Look at this. They are going 4 into turn 1. They kind of settle it out a little bit there. You got Ricky Rudd. You got Cale Yarborough, the 228s. Newman kind of stomps on the brake pedal a little bit there, so we had to check up for him, but we would continue on. 2 laps to go up into now P26 on the exit of turn 2 down this back straightaway. A big push from behind from that number 6 of Ryan Newman, trying to get ourselves in a good spot for stage points. It's not going to matter. That caution's going to fly again, and it's going to be P25 here in stage 2. So very unfortunate, frustrating first 2 stages here from this Talladega Super Speedway. Alan Kulwicki, Kyle Larson, Rusty Wallace, Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, your top 5. We pit for 4 tires again, 2 cans of fuel. Get ready for, well, the restart under the lights. It kind of looked like a rain delay happened, so that's what we'll go with. It rained. We got back racing, and it is now very dark here in Talladega. Talladega Superspeedway. There's no lights at Talladega, so this is all fantasy. You can see the only, I think, downside of the nighttime at Talladega is the weird, like, mountains in the distance are kind of like a really light blue. It kind of looks really weird, but I think that's the only issue. Other than that, I noticed some things, the reflections of the lights you can see on the car kind of like come and go at certain parts of the track, but other than that, it looks very cool here. Very big shout out to High C as usual, bringing another mod to life here. Absolutely awesome. And I can't remember, but I think we might be racing under the lights at the Charlotte Roval as well, but we will find out in the next episode. I genuinely cannot remember at this time of recording or commentating here, but now the lights on in Talladega that are not existing around the circuit, but we are trying to find our way forward. Ryan Newman, he's going to move us up into the groove there. What were you doing there, bud? Now as we continue 3 wide through the middle, we are able to keep it under control, but Ryan Newman out here was door checking us through the tri-oval at Talladega. One of the last tracks you want to try door checking somebody at, I would say now, but you can see now lap 33 up to P22, and the intensity picking up. The sky has darkened. The aggression has certainly heightened up here now. A big push from behind from Steve Parkin. We're back into the top 20 for the first time since, I think, what, stage 2? So here we go to the outside of Michael Waltrip. We have a big pull here from the number 8 Budweiser machine of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Another Budweiser car on our inside of Kevin Harvick, but up into P17. This is the most progress, I think, about that we have made so far. So how can we stay up here? I think that's really the main question. Can we remain up here in the mix here? Now, 13 laps to go in the stage. If it stays green, it looks like we're going to be getting some green flag pit stops as well. But the way this race has gone, it's actually been quite a few cautions, so I wouldn't anticipate it. Now, as you can see, 3 wide. This moves us into the P13 now as we come through down towards that tri-oval, continuing to commit to the back of Michael Waltrip. We would get up to P11, P10, and we were closing in on this main group of cars. Somehow there was some separation here, but we would get to them now, as you can see, coming to just 10 laps ago, passing Martin Truex Jr. for 10th place, and now we would actually leave out Michael Waltrip here as I was within slipstreaming distance of this main group of cars. So decided to hang out that 15 and get ourselves into the mix for a potential race win. 10 laps to go, and here we are out of turn 4, all over the back of this 14 of Clint Boyer. 3 wide down into turn 1 between him, Biffle, as well as we head through the center of the corner. Carl Edwards is going to continue to fall down, and we move up into P6, and we would jump up to the outside again behind Alan Kulwicki, and he was fading pretty quickly. And then the caution is going to come out again here in Talladega with 9 laps to go, forcing everybody's hand. We all have to come into the pit lane. Nobody can make it on fuel, so we're going to come in for simply 1 can of fuel, right side tires, add a little bit of grill tip to maybe get a little bit more speed, a little more oomph out of this car, I guess you could say, and we're going to get ready for the restart. We lost 2 positions, so we do restart here on the outside in P8. We're back underway, but it's only 5 laps to go. Here from Talladega Superspeedway, you can see we are finally in striking distance of a race victory. We have fought for race victories this season. You think back to Darlington with Dale Earnhardt Sr., to Kansas in a side-by-side finish with Dale Earnhardt Sr., Bristol, where we threw a win away on our own doing with wrecking the car on the exit of turn 2, turn 4, whatever one it was, with Mark Martin as well. That was so frustrating, but here we are now making 2 passes in the first half of this lap. Now at the inside of Alan Kulwicki here down this back straightaway. Dale Jarrett up my inside, so not really where we want to be right now. I'd rather be on the inside trying to get to the front. There's Clint Boyer, who just for whatever reason decides he's going to jump out of line completely and drop back here now as we continue to get a big push from the 97 of Kurt Busch. Here we go to the outside, 3 wide. Bobby Labonte here, Jeff Burton on the inside of us, Tony Stewart in the number 20 out in front as well. So good of a driver when it comes to the plate racing as well. 4 laps remain here from Talladega Superspeedway. We are still 3 wide as we go through 1 and 2, and we would continue 3 wide, and you can see through the tri-oval a lap later, coming to 3 laps to go, and it had not changed. We're 3 wide on the outside, so there's nothing we can really do because we just kind of have to do what we can, of course, and we're still on the outside, coming to 2 laps to go. This time by the caution comes out again under the lights in Talladega, which will set us up for a P7 restart here now. So on the inside line, which is definitely preferred at this time for NASCAR overtime, 2 laps remain. Sterling Marlin, Kevin Harvick here, the first 2 cars in front of us. Then you have Jeff Burton, who is out in front with Dale Jarrett as well, joining him on the front row. We are back underway, and you can see immediately Sterling Marlin catches Harvick off guard, and I'm going to try and follow through on the inside here, and we're going to move ourselves all the way towards the top 5 already. A big stack up here as we enter turn 1, so we had to get out of the throttle. Kurt Busch just behind, and look at this outside. They're going absolutely nowhere. The outside had zero organization. Burton, for whatever reason, is going to jump up there as well, and here we go. We have a chance to make it 3 wide if that 97 of Kurt Busch pushes me, but he's not going to quite yet. So you see Marlin stays clear, but all of a sudden we're second in line on the inside. Marlin, if he leaves a gap, I'm taking it. There's the gap right there. I checked up briefly, so we need some help from the 97 on the exit of turn 4. There it is. And now to the inside of the Coors Light number 40 machine. Down this front straightaway to the lead we go, approaching this final lap here from Talladega Super Speedway. We have already talked about it. We have yet to get a win this season. We have been very, very close. We have choked. We have just been straight up not fast enough at times to duel it out against Dale Earnhardt, but now we need to hold on for 1 lap, and if this is the situation, it's perfect because it's single file right now. But Kurt Busch jumps to the top of the track. We throw the first block. It's going to be Block City from this Pepsi throwback number 24. It couldn't go to victory lane at Talladega in real life in 2009. Can it go to victory lane in real life here in 2023? Or sorry, in the game, not real life. 3 wide, 4 wide maybe coming up behind us now. Harvick slips through. He does go 4 wide. Dale Jarrett, Kurt Busch fall behind. Richard Petty to the rear bumper with help from Matt Kenseth. A block to the 29 of Harvick. Briefly back down to the inside of the 43 of Richard Petty through the tri-oval. No pressure. We're coming through to win our first race of the NASCAR Legend Series playoffs here. What a race in Talladega. Cautions everywhere, but we are the one that finds a way after a rough stage 1 and 2 to manage to win in Talladega. Get to do our first burnout in this beautiful throwback Pepsi car as well. Now we lock ourselves into the round of 8. We get to go to the Charlotte Roval with 0 concerns there, so that is going to be a lot of fun to get to kind of see how that one plays itself out there now, as we can really do whatever we want in that episode. But awesome to finally pick up the victory here in this number 24 car. It looks so beautiful, and a lot of fun to do it under the lights at Talladega. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a lot of fun to record, and it was a pretty chaotic one. Great racing. We saw 4 wide I don't know how many times, more than I feel like I've ever seen in one race at Talladega. Just overall a lot of fun. But yeah, you see the finishing order there. Casey Kane at the bottom, 27 laps down, and we'll take a quick look before we end it at the playoff grid and how that has been affected. But we already know that we are locked in with Kevin Harvick. Right there you see Rusty Wallace, Dale Sr., Tony Stewart, Mark Martin are all below looking in. Would be a shock to see Earnhardt out this early after a dominant first round of the playoffs, but it's going to be close. We'll see what he can do going into the Charlotte Roval. That's going to do it for me. I would like to thank all of you guys for taking the time of your day for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.